12 Astounding and Unusual Facts about Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte, the French military and political leader, has captured the imaginations of historians and enthusiasts for centuries. While his military campaigns and political strategies are well documented, there are several lesser-known facts and oddities that have added layers of intrigue to his already fascinating profile. Here are 12 of the most surprising. Fact number 1. The Corsican Origins. Napoleon Bonaparte, the name synonymous with French imperial power, surprisingly wasn't of mainland French origin. He was born in 1769 on the island of Corsica, a year after it was ceded to France by the Republic of Genoa. While the island had just become a French territory, its culture and traditions were distinct. Growing up, Napoleon's first language was Corsican, and he had to acquire French later when he started his formal education. His Corsican heritage played a significant role in shaping his early years and perspectives. Number 2. Not exceptionally short. Contrary to the popular and widely accepted myth, Napoleon wasn't exceptionally short. He stood at about 5 feet 7 inches, which was quite average for European men in the 19th century. The misunderstanding about his height likely originated from the discrepancies in unit measurements between the English and the French systems. When his height, as recorded in French units, was converted to the English system, it made him seem shorter than he was. This resulted in the perpetuation of the myth of a diminutive Napoleon. Number 3. Kidnapping plans. History is rife with espionage, covert operations, and plots, and Napoleon was no exception to being the target of such schemes. One of the most audacious plots against him involved a plan by the British to kidnap the emperor. Captain Wright of the British Navy was said to be the mastermind behind this operation. The objective? To capture and possibly exile Napoleon, which would inevitably change the political landscape of Europe. However, for reasons that are still a matter of debate among historians, this plot never came to fruition. Number 4. Engaged in Egyptology. Napoleon's fascination with Egypt was not just fleeting curiosity. In 1798, he led a formidable expedition to the country, aiming to disrupt British trade routes and establish scientific and strategic dominance in the region. But more than its military objectives, this expedition had a profound impact on the Western understanding of ancient Egypt. The discovery of the Rosetta Stone during this campaign was monumental. This slab, inscribed with the same text in 3 different scripts, became the pivotal tool in cracking the code of Egyptian hieroglyphs. Napoleon's venture into Egypt significantly boosted the field of Egyptology and deepened Europe's appreciation for ancient Egyptian culture. Number 5. Fear of cats? One of the more quirky aspects of Napoleon's personality was his purported fear of cats, or ailurophobia. While this might seem odd given his fearless reputation on the battlefield, it suggested that even a small feline could instill a sense of dread in the emperor. Various reports and anecdotes from his contemporaries point to instances where Napoleon would react with evident discomfort or even terror upon encountering a cat. This unusual phobia, juxtaposed against his otherwise indomitable spirit, adds another layer of complexity to his multifaceted personality. Number 6. Napoleon's wallpaper conspiracy. Following the Battle of Waterloo and his subsequent defeat, Napoleon was banished to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic. It's in this isolated confinement that he would spend the last years of his life. Over the years, there's been speculation about the nature of his death. While stomach cancer is widely accepted as the cause, a more intriguing theory suggests that Napoleon was slowly poisoned by arsenic. The source of this poisoning? The green wallpaper that adorned his room. Samples of this wallpaper, when later analyzed, were found to contain arsenic. The green pigment in the wallpaper was derived from Scheele's green, a compound notorious for its arsenic content. When molds grow on such wallpaper, they can release arsenic gas, leading to chronic exposure. It's still a matter of debate among historians whether this played a significant role in Napoleon's declining health or eventual demise. Number 7. not buried in France immediately. Napoleon Bonaparte's final resting place is the magnificent Les Invalides in Paris. However, this wasn't always the case. Following his death in 1821 on St. Helena, he was buried there, as per the British's decision. It was only in 1840, almost 2 decades later, under the reign of King Louis Philippe, that Napoleon's remains were exhumed and transported to France. This grand repatriation, known as Retour des Cendres or Return of the Ashes, was marked with significant pomp and ceremony. His body now lies inside a red porphyry sarcophagus in the Dome of Les Invalides. Number 8. Attempted suicide. The weight of his drastic fall from power bore heavily on Napoleon during his exile in Elba. Overwhelmed by his reversal of fortune and the uncertainties of his future, he tried to take his own life. To this end, he consumed a poison he had kept with him for emergencies. But fate had other plans. The poison had deteriorated over time and, instead of delivering a swift end, it caused severe pain and suffering for several hours. Despite the intensity of the episode, Napoleon survived, only to face more trials in his tumultuous life. Number 9. Napoleon and the Rabbits. The annals of history are replete with tales of epic battles and confrontations. However, one of the most comical incidents associated with Napoleon involves not a mighty army but a horde of rabbits. During a hunting trip organized in his honor, a large number of rabbits were released for the sport. But, instead of running away to be hunted, the rabbits, perhaps driven by hunger or sheer numbers, swarmed towards Napoleon and his party. The scene that followed was both chaotic and hilarious, with the mighty emperor and his generals being chased and overwhelmed by these furry creatures. The incident, though minor in the grand scope of his life, serves as a whimsical footnote in the story of a man who was more accustomed to facing armies than aggressive rabbits. Number 10. Obsessive-compulsive traits of Napoleon. Throughout his life, Napoleon exhibited behaviors that, in today's medical landscape, might be labeled as obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD. One of the most curious rituals he maintained involved his hair. Napoleon would not permit anyone to touch or cut his hair unless he was holding an object in his hand, a peculiar routine that indicates a need for control and predictability. Furthermore, his love for order extended to his immediate environment. Napoleon was known to frequently rearrange furniture, ensuring that every item had its designated place. His obsession with cleanliness was also evident. Whether in his personal chambers or even in military camps, he demanded impeccable sanitation standards, emphasizing the importance of hygiene in preventing disease. Number 11. Napoleon's passionate affair with a Polish countess. Despite being married to Empress Marie-Louise, the granddaughter of the famed Empress Maria Theresa of Austria, Napoleon's heart wandered to a Polish countess named Maria Wałęsa. Their romance was not a simple dalliance. While there was undeniable attraction, Maria was also motivated by a deeper patriotic purpose. Poland, at that time, had lost its independence, being partitioned among various European powers. Maria believed that by getting close to Napoleon, she could influence him to restore Poland's sovereignty. Their relationship bore fruit, both politically and personally. Maria gave birth to a son, Alexander Kolano-Waluski. Despite the illicit nature of their relationship, Napoleon recognized Alexander as his own, and he later went on to become an important French diplomat. Number 12. The enduring mystery surrounding Napoleon's death. The circumstances of Napoleon's death remain a subject of intrigue and speculation. Officially, the cause of his death was stomach cancer, a malady that had also claimed his father's life. However, alternative theories have persisted, suggesting foul play. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence supporting this claim is the presence of arsenic in samples of Napoleon's hair. While the levels were higher than what would be considered normal, it's still debated whether it was sufficient to cause his death. Some believe that the arsenic exposure was environmental, perhaps from the wallpaper in his house during his exile in St. Helena. Others see it as a clear sign of a more sinister plot to assassinate the former emperor. This debate ensures that even in death, Napoleon continues to captivate and divide opinions.